It's what sets Charleston apart from other cities and towns across the country. Its dedication to preservation. Let's welcome Anna Catherine Alexander, Director of Advocacy Initiatives for the Preservation Society of Charleston, as it gears up for this year's Carolopolis Awards. Well, you just had the Carolopolis Awards, and this year proved to be something rather extraordinary in comparison to previous years. So tell us a little bit about how this year is different.
Yes, absolutely. Well, this was one of our largest group of award winners that we have ever acknowledged in the history of the Carolopolis Award program. We honored 26 projects with 27 plaques. We had one project that won 2 awards, both in exterior and interior. It's not.
Oh, okay.
But we're always delighted to see that.
Double dip.
Yes, and we welcomed the largest crowd that we have been able to host, 400 plus people at the Charleston Place Ballroom. It was a wonderful time.
Yeah, I'm sure. I did see some pictures of people celebrating, and they got dressed up to the nines, which looked like a lot of fun. But what you do with your organization, it's so imperative for us, particularly here in Charleston, because we do sit in such a historic region. What I thought was rather interesting, though, is that Carolopolis, it's beyond Charleston's borders. So it goes a bit farther to the south and to the north. Talk a little bit about how it impacts those other areas.
Yeah, so through the Carolopolis Award program, we have the opportunity to celebrate preservation achievement across the Low Country. So not just downtown, but in our island communities. This year we had awards represented on Sullivan's Island, our first on Folly Beach, and Daniel Island. Those were both firsts. And then North Charleston, rural Berkeley County. So really exemplifying excellence in preservation across the region.
So tell me, what was in Folly and what was on Daniel Island that earned the award?
So we had distinct awards given for in both areas. On Folly Beach, we gave a resilience award for a project that exemplified excellence in preservation, but also rising to the challenge of making a historic building more resilient to climate impacts. And then on Daniel Island, we acknowledged a newly constructed St. Clair of Assisi Catholic Church. So that's in the new construction category.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so you have new construction as well. So it's not just preserving the old buildings, but it's also celebrating the new ones as well. Yeah, the church was a big deal. Now, as far as the Preservation Society goes, typically are these awards given to homeowners who have purchased these properties and they have retrofitted them for the current age? Are these also city use buildings? Does it run the gamut?
It certainly does. Okay. So they are, Carolopolis Awards are awarded to public and private projects, and we have a number of award categories like we were talking about. We have our exterior, interior for publicly accessible spaces, the Resilience Award, the New Construction Award, and then the Pro Merito Award, which is a second bite at the apple for projects that have been acknowledged at least 20 years ago. Oh. So since this award program has been around since the 1950s, we need the opportunity to acknowledge.
Maintenance on maintenance on maintenance, right? Yeah. And that's really interesting. What is the threshold that you have to meet to earn one of those awards? Because I would imagine it's more than just slapping some fresh paint on it.
Yes, this award is intended to acknowledge the highest standard in historic preservation excellence, what we would not otherwise consider routine maintenance. And so we're looking for adherence to the Secretary of the Interior standards for historic preservation, which are federal preservation standards, but also just projects that really go above and beyond to protect the cultural heritage that we have here. And that can look like preserving a historic building or honoring the context that you're in with sensitive new construction.
Oh, I see. Okay. Do you also have to use materials that may be of the same age but from another property in the property? Can you mix those materials, or typically do you have to just sort of preserve what's already there and then add new stuff?
Good question. Yes, I mean, we're looking for preservation of existing material to the greatest extent possible. That's really important for honoring a building's integrity. But fortunately, federal standards are really great about providing guidance for how to go about that when replacement is needed. And so we look at that really closely.
Okay, yeah, because I'm thinking, floorboards, we talk about what makes a historic property historic. Well, if the floorboards are a wider plank. That means that it's this much, older than the new ones.
Exactly.
And of course, you want to keep that
tells
consistent.
the story.
It does. It tells a story, absolutely. And talk a little bit about the cost behind all of this preservation. It's one thing to have the altruistic vision of wanting to preserve history, but it comes at a great, great cost.
Yes, the Carolopolis Award program offers us the opportunity at the Preservation Society to celebrate the property owners and the project teams behind these projects that are investing their resources, both financially and in time, to create these incredible projects. It really is, it's a celebration of the people behind the places that we all get to enjoy.
Yeah. And to the tune of millions of dollars per property in some cases.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a gift to the rest of us. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that information.
Yeah.
For anyone who wants to learn more about Carolopolis, where should they go?
You can visit our website at preservationsociety.org, and we're going to be launching our new nomination form for this year's awards in early summer.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so did you hear that, everybody? Good to know. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Yes.
We're back after this.